All right, let's just jump right in. Today, we're going deep into the radical transformation of the hero Wotan from the Dare Wille mythos. Now, Dare Wille is presented as the raw, unfiltered chaos at the very heart of the universe. And this is not your typical hero's journey. No, this is a total demolition job on the whole idea of what a hero is, replacing virtue with something way more powerful and, honestly, kind of terrifying.
So, the whole logic behind his transformation boils down to this one really potent idea. You know, all those things we're taught to admire in heroes: honor, a sense of order, fulfilling your destiny? Well, in this world, those aren't strengths, they're gilded chains. Think of them like beautiful, shiny prison bars. And to get to real power, you don't polish the bars, you have to completely shatter them.
So yeah, that's the big question we're diving into, isn't it? What if the very things that make a hero, are actually a cage? What happens when someone decides that the real path to power isn't about being more heroic, but about blowing up the whole concept of heroism? That's what we're about to unpack.
Okay, first up, the hero's gilded chains. So let's get into how this whole mythos sets up the problem. It basically says that our standard idea of a hero isn't just old-fashioned, it's a trap, a complete dead end you have to escape. So what is this trap exactly? Well, it's that classic hero model, the kind you'd see in the old sagas. It's all about playing by the rules, knowing your place in the social order, and just accepting your fate. You're basically playing a pre-written role. And man, the story does not hold back. It calls this whole system the static lie, which means it's not just a mistake, it's a lie that's designed to keep you stuck, to freeze your spirit in place so you can't ever really change or grow. And what happens if you buy into this lie? You turn into what the mythos calls the last man. And well, it's the absolute bottom. Total stagnation. You're apathetic, you've got no drive, and your whole sense of self is based on what other people tell you is real. It's basically the death of you as an individual. So, Wotan's solution? It's pretty extreme. It's not about trying to be a better hero. It's what's called a calculated descent. He chooses on purpose to just plunge headfirst into chaos. He throws away every single moral rulebook he ever had, all to build something new and powerful out of that emptiness. So how in the world do you even start something like that? A calculated descent? For Wotan, the answer is language. But get this, it's not language to describe reality, it's language to take it apart. He finds this new alphabet, the Mad Runes, and they are literally the key that unlocks this whole transformation. Okay, so look at this contrast. It's fascinating. On one side, you've got the old runes, the categorical runes. Their whole job was to keep things neat and tidy. Name something, categorize it, make the universe feel rational and stable. But then you've got the Mad Runes. They're called an alphabet of the void for a reason. Their purpose is to smash logic, to break the laws of physics. It's not just about making a mess, it's about fundamentally deconstructing the idea that there's one stable reality out there. And this is not some abstract philosophical thing. I mean, look at the process. It's a systematic soul rewrite. He's literally carving these broken symbols into his own skin. The whole point is to bleed out his humanity, pity, fear, all of it. It's this brutal self-inflicted ritual to achieve a total metaphysical overhaul. We're not talking about changing your perspective. We're talking about rebuilding your very soul from the ground up. Okay, so what comes next? I mean, after you've literally rewritten your soul with the language of chaos, your whole view of the world is going to change, right? And that's where the very idea of truth gets completely flipped upside down. This really lays out the massive shift in thinking. The old truth is what we all kind of operate on, right? The idea that there's an objective reality out there, and our job is to discover it. Well, this mythos says, nope, that's an illusion. The new truth, Woden's truth, is the opposite. It isn't found, it's made. It's a willed projection. You basically force your version of reality onto the world so powerfully that it becomes the reality. So think about what that means. If you're creating truth, then the whole true versus false debate is just gone. It's irrelevant. The only thing that matters now is powerful versus weak. That's the new standard. Can your will shape the world? If it can, then congratulations, it's true. End of story. Now, I know what you're thinking. This sounds completely insane. And yeah, from the outside, it is. But from Wotan's point of view, it's the sanest thing in the world. What we call madness, he calls a superior perception. It's about having the mental fortitude, I guess, to see the universe without any filters, to see it as this raw, chaotic energy without all the pretty lies we tell ourselves to feel safe. So, all of this whole transformation, it leads to Wotan's final form, the emergence of the Overman. This is what you become when you dive into the abyss and actually come out the other side. Just think about the old heroes for a second. What did they do? They fought against chaos, against this raw cosmic will. They were afraid of it, they resisted it, and in the end, it always broke them. They got swallowed by it. Woron's big idea is to just stop fighting. Instead of building a wall against the storm, he invites it in. He internalizes all that chaos. So he's not just using chaos magic, it's his new default state. He literally becomes the storm. And this new state of being? It's described as frenzy and fervor. Just imagine this constant, high-energy, almost ecstatic state of tension. Remember the last man we talked about, the apathetic, stagnant guy? Well, this is the polar opposite. It's the ultimate cure for that kind of spiritual decay. Because let's be real, you can't be stagnant when you're a walking hurricane. And here is the absolute genius move. He looks at the universe, sees that it's basically meaningless, a cosmic joke, and he doesn't fall into despair. He gets defiant. He develops this thing called strategic counter-irony. The best way to put it is, he gets that the joke is on him, and instead of crying about it, he decides to one-up the universe and tell a bigger, badder joke. He turns absurdity into a weapon. And that brings us to our final section, the tragic triumph. Because this godlike state, this total victory, it doesn't come for free. There's a huge, huge price to pay. The story calls it a tragic triumph. And this is where you really feel the weight of everything he's done.
Okay, let's be perfectly clear. He wins. He gets everything he wanted. Ultimate power is his. He can warp reality, call down the divine lightning, the whole shebang. On his own terms, it is a total success.
The price? Horrific isolation. But here's the final brutal twist in the story. This isolation, it's not seen as a failure. It's actually framed as his final victory. It's the last gilded chain, human connection, and he successfully shattered it too. And so we're left with this one really unsettling question. Is becoming this all-powerful being, this ultimate version of yourself, worth destroying the part of you that can ever connect with another person? Is that a price worth paying?